Hey polish fans, it's Caroline again and welcome to another video here at Wild Moon Lacquer. In today's video we are diving into part 20 of this huge estate lot of nail polish that I got on Facebook Marketplace. For this tote, this is tote number 2, we have been finding a lot of new in-box polishes, a lot from Rescue Beauty Lounge. We've been finding Parrot Polish, Cult Nails, Julep, and a few other brands, and a lot of other polishes. We have found some real treasures in this one. If you've missed any of these other videos, or if this is the first video of this series that you're seeing, I'll post a playlist up there of all of the other videos, and let's just jump right in. The first one is a Parrot Polish. This one is called Jewel Beetle. Ooh, this one is a multi-chrome flaky polish. Wow. So this has loads of shifts. I'm seeing green, purple, fuchsia, and gold. I think on camera you're seeing a few of the colors, but some of the shifts are just not really showing up very well. This is one I know I don't have. I don't know if you can see that gold, kind of an orangey gold popping up at that corner right there. I know you're seeing the fuchsia on camera at least, but this is a beautiful one and one that I know I don't own. Might need a bit of a cleanup around the neck of the bottle actually, but look at that. Beautiful one. So that one's going to go in the keep pile. That was Parrot Polish Jewel Beetle. Next up we have a Rescue Beauty Lounge. This one is Wild Raspberries Grow. Oh wow, look at this one. So this I think might be the first glitter polish that we've seen from them. It has mainly these micro green metallic glitters and then a larger pink glitter in a metallic. This is very unusual. This brand seems to have made some very unusual polishes. There we have it on the brush. This one actually could be a topper because look at how sheer it is on the wand. I think I might end up holding on to this and see about playing around with this over other colors. This is definitely unique to my collection. Again, with a lot of the ones that I'm keeping, I will have to come back and do some comparisons, swatches, and see if it ends up staying in my collection. But for the time being, what I've been doing for this haul is setting ones aside that I want to keep and then putting some directly into the D-stash. And then some of them are ones that I need to check on to see if they are in my collection already. Those go in the to be checked pile, but this one's going in the keeper pile. So that was Rescue Beauty Lounge Wild Raspberries Grow. Next up, we've got another Rescue Beauty Lounge. This one is called Pardonnez-moi. Ooh, this is a beautiful, like metallic, maybe duochrome. Look at that glow. So this is a blurbly, like sapphire toned purple, like purple sapphire, if that is such a thing. You're mainly seeing a blue flash, but in person, there's definitely a purple. That might be the base, or it might be just some other color that this shifts to, that blue shifts to. Yeah, this is a beautiful one. This might actually be pretty unique to my collection as well, so this is going to go in the keep pile as well. That was Rescue Beauty Lounge Pardonnez-moi. Next up, ooh, we've got another from Cult Nails. This one is called Fillin' Froggy. Okay, this name definitely sounds familiar. I'm wondering if we did already run into one of these. And I think a lot of the ones I've de-stashed have sort of gotten buried in the tote that I'm using. But this one is sort of a squishy green with a green shimmer. I don't actually remember if I kept this one or not. Yep, it went into the keep pile. So here we go. We have this one that was in the keep pile, this one that we just unpacked. This is a color I don't think I need a duplicate of, so I'm going to put the original that I found back in the keep. And then the newest one is going to go in the D-stash. So that was Cult Nails Fillin' Froggy. Next up, we have another Rescue Beauty Lounge. This one is called Melanzane. Ooh, we have more glitter. This time we have purple and a dark teal. Look at that. Wow. So this is another really beautiful combination. Again, I feel like it's pretty unique. Ooh, and in a sheer base. So again, this one has topper possibilities. Actually, most definitely could be used as a topper. You can see how sheer it is there on the wand. So this is another one that's going to go in the keep pile. This is really, really pretty. And like I said, pretty unique to my collection of toppers as well. So that was Rescue Beauty Lounge, Melanzane. Next up, we have a Colors by Leroux. This one is called Shiny Happy People from the Summer 2016 collection. Ooh, and we have more hollow. Their hollows are just amazing. This one also has a larger particled shifting shimmer. I'm mainly seeing that as a pink, which I think is also what you're seeing on camera, but there's a bit of a gold shift to that as well, plus the rainbows from the hollow. The base of this one is kind of like a light steel blue. Very pretty, and I don't think we've run into this color yet. Oh, look at that glow. So this one's going to go in the keep pile. That was Colors by Leroux, Shiny Happy People. Next up, we've got one from Glittering Elements. This is a brand that we've run into just a handful of so far, and this one is called Golden Girl number 17. This is a beautiful summery bright pink, and it has a golden orange flash to it. This is one of those instances where I actually do like that golden gleam to it. This one also does have that orange shift to it as opposed to a very vibrant gold. But yeah, this is a combination that I do really like. I will have to compare it to a lot of the other shades of pink that I have been keeping, but this is one of my favorite groups or shade ranges of pink for summer, so we're going to hold on to that one, again, at least until I can do those comparisons. So that is a Glittering Elements Golden Girl number 17. Next up is Occult Nails. This one is called Sublime. And wowzer, this is a bright color. Look at that. This is like almost fire engine red. I mean, this is actually maybe not even fire engine red. It's more red than that. It is like Crayola red, vibrant, vibrant red. This is definitely a color outside my comfort zone. Most of the red shades that I like are definitely deeper, more along the berry shades of red, ones that have a pink tint, or ones that are very dark like a burgundy or wine. So this one I just am not feeling. So we're going to go ahead and put this one in the D-stash. That was Cult Nails Sublime. Next up, ooh, we've got another tonic. This has been one of the brands that I have been super excited to find. I really just wasn't expecting to find this. It was not one that was in those lots that I had seen initially. So very, very happy, thrilled to find these in this haul. This one is called Unicorn Adorned. Okay, so this is one I know I have. I remember it in my collection. So this can go ahead and go in the D-stash. I know. I've been keeping some as backups, but this one is a red, so I don't need a backup of it. But look at the shifts in this. It is that pinky leaning reddish color. There's a lot of other components going on as well. There's some flakies that are a green to gold. There's some that are iridescent with like a fuchsia to red. So really beautiful. This one also has, I think, like a UP sibling or maybe even UP. I don't really remember on this one. But yeah, beautiful color, but I don't need a backup of it. So we're going to go ahead and put that in the D-stash. That was Tonic's Unicorn Adorned. I'm really surprised I'm D-stashing a tonic, but you know, I can't keep everything. All right, next up we have one from Contrary Polish. This one is called Last Leaves. And this one is a like dusty brown. There are a load of shimmers in here. I'm mainly seeing them as a gold and red. So probably two different kinds of particles. Now, browns are definitely not in my favorites. Wow, this is actually a sheer polish too. You can see that on the wand there. So, I mean, this could be interesting. It's just not one I'm very excited about. So I am going to go ahead and put this one in the D-stash. That one is Contrary Polish Last Leaves. Next up, we have one from Stardust Polish. This one is called Hotsy Totsy. And this is another shade of that beautiful deep fuchsia. We have a load of glitters in this one. We've got matte blacks, silver hollows, and different shades of pink in different sizes. So this is a shade of pink that I definitely like. I'm just trying to decide if this is a glitter combination that I would like on. And I think this is the kind of polish that you really have to see swatched to make that sort of a decision. Oh, look, it even has little square glitters. So we're going to go ahead and put this in the keep pile. Again, that kept pile will be sorted through again, and after that, a ton of comparisons. So it's not necessarily an end-all be-all. I'm keeping every single one of those, but this one's going to go in there for the time being. That is Stardust Polish Hotsy Totsy. Yeah, just a very fun mix there. All right, next up we have another Cult Nails. This one is Devious Nature, and it is another shade of pink, kind of on like a orchid pink where it's leaning towards purple. This is another shade that I do really enjoy. I don't remember the name, so I don't think I have it from this brand. It's just not as vibrant a shade as I feel like I would like in this color. So I think I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. I don't know. I like it, but I am trying not to keep everything. I know I'm putting a lot in the keep pile, but I am trying not to keep every single bottle. So that is Cult Nails Devious Nature. Next up, we have another Cult Nails. This one has lost its little bottom label. So I'm not sure what this color might be, but it is a sheer polish, kind of in a very light blush, like shell base, very lightly tinted. And then it has a golden green to pink shimmer going on. This is definitely a sheer polish. There you can see it on the brush there. So I think this one would be pretty cute on. I think it could have a nice wash on the nail, but I'm just not as jazzed about it as I have been about some of the other colors. So this is going to go in the D-stash as well. I'm actually very surprised at how many Cult nail polishes are going in the D-stash this time, but we're going to add this one as well. That's Cult Nails Unknown. Next up, we've got another Colors by Leroy. This one is called Courage Brains Heart. And we have another hollow, oh my goodness, in a very beautiful deep shade of fuchsia. Wow. So again, we have a stunning hollow from this brand. The color on this is gorgeous as well. Another one that I will have to do some comparisons of at some point, but the hollow on this, again, is just absolutely stunning. So going to the keep pile. I don't believe we've run into this one yet. That is Colors by Leroy Courage Brains Heart. Next up, ooh, we have an Emily DeMolly. This has been another brand I've been excited to find, and this is CREAM. And it is a green cream. So very interesting name for a green polish. This one is actually a pretty nice shade. It's kind of along the lines of a grass green, but there's a dusty quality to this that I really like. So this is going to go in the keep pile. I know it's one that I don't have, so that one was Emily DeMolly's CREAM. Next up, we've got one from Stardust Polish. This is Mystery Hollow number 6. We've run into quite a few of their mystery hollows. And this one is a dusty purple leaning gray. It has that beautiful linear holographic, plus there's a subtle shimmer in here as well. That's that gold. This is a beautiful shade. This particular tone of a gray purple or a purple gray is definitely one of my favorites. This is one that I don't think we've run into. Again, I will be doing sorting to make sure that I didn't unintentionally end up with any duplicate bottles, but this is a beautiful one. I could absolutely see myself wearing this. So yeah, going in the keep pile. That was Stardust Polish Mystery Hollow number 6. Next up, we have a Native War Paints. This one is called Copper Pot. Now, these copper polishes definitely sound familiar. There's 2 collections from them. Ones that have copper in the name and ones that have sweater in the name, and they all sound familiar to me. Half the time I end up not owning it yet though, so this is going to go in the to be checked pile to see if I own it or not. The base of this is like a dusty slate blue gray, and then it has a very strong copper shimmer that has a bit of a red tone to it at certain angles. So yeah, not sure if I own this one or not, but it is very pretty. I could definitely see myself wearing this one in the fall season. You can see that beautiful warm glow. So yeah, we'll check and see if I own that or not. If I don't, it'll probably go in the collection for comparisons. And if I do, it'll go in the D-stash. So that was Native War Paints Copper Pot. Next up, we have a Cult Nails. This one is called Kiss My Rosebush. Feisty little name. And this, I would say, is kind of like a dusty Pepto-Bismol pink in a cream formula. This has actually been a shade of pink that I've been surprising myself with liking. I haven't worn it necessarily, but I've been keeping a few from this haul to give a shot, eventually do comparisons and swatches. So I want to add this as well. I could see myself wearing this, so we're going to add that to the collection for those comparisons. That was Cult Nails Kiss My Rosebush. Next up, we have one from Anonymous Lacquer. This one is called Mwah! From HHC Anniversary for 2016, February 2016. So this is one that I definitely don't have, and it's a purple. We have a mix of holographic in here, metallic, and maybe even iridescent. There's also some mini flakies. So another beautiful purple. Oh yeah, this is gorgeous. So again, purple hollows are a big color category that I'm going to have to come back and do some comparisons of, but this has some very unique combinations of components in here. I'm curious how it will compare to those other purple hollows. So that's going to go in the keep pile as well. That was Anonymous Lacquer's Mwah! Next up, we've got an Essie. This one is called Jamaica Me Crazy. Ooh, this is a beautiful shade of magenta. You've got a tone-on-tone shimmer, so the cream base and the shimmer are in the same family. Now this one, the name definitely sounds familiar. I don't remember if it's one that I bought or not, so this is going to go in the to be checked pile. That was Essie's Jamaica Me Crazy. Next up, we have another Cult Nails. This one is called Lamestain or Lamestain. I'm actually not sure if that's Lamestain or Lamestain, but look at this very dark, like ox blood cream. Wow. So this is definitely in a color range that I really enjoy. These are nice and vampy on the nail. Hopefully you can see some of that tone and it's not just coming across as a black. It might be though. There we go. There you can see that tone. So a beautiful one. Now I want to say it's possible that I have an oxblood color from Cult Nails, but I don't think it was this name. So we're going to put this in the keep pile. Again, another color family that I will definitely have to do comparisons of at some point. But for the time being, I'm going to hold on to it. That was Cult Nails Lamestain or Lamestain. Next up, we have a super chic new in the box. This one is called Boo. Wow, we have quite the vibrant shade of green here. There are, I think, iridescent glitters and iridescent flakies, like little ghost flakies. So you can see the brighter shade of like an aqua is the glitter, and the ones that are coming off as a darker blue, I believe, are the flakies. Plus, there are other components in here which might be holographic micro flakies. Yeah, this is actually really interesting. This tone of kind of a lime green is not necessarily my favorite, but I am really liking the sparks of blue that I'm seeing in here. Yeah, look at those. I mean, that's really unusual. Kind of reminds me of like a sea creature. I want to at least swatch this and see how it would compare to the other colors in my collection. This particular shade of green is not one I have too many of, I don't think, especially with this combination. So that's going to go in the keep pile. That was Super Chic Lacquer's Boo. Next up, ooh, we've got a Girly Bits. This one is called Sample 1056D. And this is in their newer label. This is another beautiful shade of purple, this time in kind of that orchid lean of a purple. Look at all the hollow. Wow. So we've got hollow in two different sizes. We have the smaller, finely milled linear, then scattered larger particles in maybe a micro glitter. Plus there's something else in here. It's either a micro flaky or a larger shimmer particle that is flashing in pink. This is very gorgeous. Girly Bits is another one of those brands that I really, really like, and I don't think I have this one. I mean, I don't think I had any of their samples prior to this haul, so we're going to put this in the keep pile again, at least until I can do some comparisons. So that's Girly Bits Sample 1056. Next up, we have another Cult Nails, and this one is called Tulum. And this is an interesting light brown. There are some gold shimmer particles in here, and maybe with a pinch of like a pink in there as well. This is a very unusual color for me. I'm trying to decide if this is one that I could see myself wearing. Browns are still a color family, along with yellows and reds, that I'm still a bit finicky on. Actually, of those three, reds I'm becoming less finicky on. Browns and yellows are still ones that I just am not super drawn to. So because of that, well, I was looking for like a milk chocolate, and I'm wondering if this would be in the right tone, but I think it's almost too gray leaning. So we're going to go ahead and destash it. Like I said, I don't need to keep everything. So Cult Nails Tulum is going to go in the destash. Next up, we have another from Liquid Sky Lacquer. Actually, this might be the first one from this brand in this video, and this one is called Turn Up. Ooh, this is another hollow in a very bright lime green, or maybe not lime green, maybe more like a lemon lime green, in that same family as almost like a tennis ball yellow green. You have the rainbows from the hollow, which look really beautiful in this color. But again, color-wise, this shade range of yellows I'm a bit finicky on. I have been keeping some, surprisingly, but sparingly, just when the polish really speaks to me. This one does have a gorgeous hollow, but I feel like I have worn something kind of similar and I just didn't love it on. So we're going to go ahead and destash this one. That is Liquid Sky Lacquer's Turn Up. Next up, we have a Colors by Leroux. This one is called The Bluest Eyes in Texas. This one came out in the spring 2017 collection. Ooh, this is a beautiful shade. This is like a bright, kind of in the line of like a robin's egg blue, but more towards that vibrant aqua side of a robin's egg. Plus you have these large particle shimmers in pinks and golds. This is another one that I don't think we've run into, but again, Colors by Leroux is far and away in the lead for how many bottles we've unboxed from a single brand in this haul. So it is possible we ran into this one. Again, I am going to do a sorting video at the end of all of this to make sure that I didn't end up keeping any duplicates, but for the time being, this is going to go in the keep pile. This is also one of my favorite color combinations, a blue or aqua with a shimmer in it. So that is Colors by Leroux, The Bluest Eyes in Texas. Next up, we have another from Glittering Elements. This one is called Lone Wolf. Ooh, and we have another sort of gray leaning purple. This has hollow and shimmer. There's at least a blue and a gold particle in there, as well as the linear hollow. So this is, again, in that same color family as I think one of the other hollows that we've kept. That's in that sort of gray purple color family. Purple leaning gray, gray leaning purple. And I really, really like how this looks on. Just to compare it to the other one that we've kept, that was the Mystery Hollow number 6 from Stardust Polish. They are different tones. I think there's more of a creaminess to the one from Glittering Elements. And of course, they do have different elements in the polish. So definitely different. And this one is going in the keep pile as well. It's another one that I know we haven't run across yet. That is Glittering Elements Lone Wolf. Up next, let's do another Rescue Beauty Lounge. This one is Burn the Evidence. And we have more glitter. Wow. This one is like a light red, maybe even a copper and gold. This is pretty. This is one that I could very much see myself wearing in the fall. And yeah, I think it's also in a clear base. So it could make a beautiful topper over other colors. Nice. Yeah, this is another one that's beautiful. So this is going to go in the collection as well. That is Rescue Beauty Lounge Burn the Evidence. Next up, we've got a Fancy Gloss. This one is March 2016 MP, so monthly polish, I think. This one is a light green with a bunch of different components in here. See those little golden flashes? Those I would say are a micro flaky. Then there is a pink component and a blue component. Those are in a smaller particle, so a larger shimmer. And I can't quite tell if I'm seeing hollow in here or not, but there's quite a lot going on in this one. There it is on the brush. This is actually a pretty nice shade. It's kind of a muted spring green. So I want to at least see how this looks on. Yeah, I want to see how this compares to other greens that I've been keeping. And I don't think this is one that I own yet. So that's Fancy Gloss's March 2016 going in the keep pile. Next up, we have another Fancy Gloss. This one is called Calypso's Curse. Ooh, and it's a thermal. So these are older polishes. My guess is most of the thermal properties won't be working, but look at this beautiful color. This is kind of a muted but juicy purple. And there's a load of these larger shimmer particles in here that twinkle very nicely. So I am curious about what this might have changed to and if it still does. But even if it doesn't transition to its warm color, the cold color is really, really pretty. So this is going in the keep pile as well. That is Fancy Gloss's Calypso's Curse. Next up is another Rescue Beauty Lounge. This one is called Morning Light. Ooh, look at this one. Oh, wow. This is beautiful. This is like a light gray leaning blue, and it is full of this golden large particled shimmer or micro flaky. This is very lovely, definitely fitting of the name. It kind of has that very, very light lean into purple, but there's a lot of gray in this as well. Again, this is another unique polish. We've been running into a lot of very unique combinations from this brand. It's another that I know I don't have, and I really like this combination. So this is going in the collection as well. That's Rescue Beauty Lounge Morning Light. Next up, we have another Colors by Leroux. This one is called Broadway Baby. Ooh, this was a Polish Con from New York, 2017. Nice. So we have another dark blue, and look at the shifts. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I don't know if those shifts are coming across on camera. I think you're seeing the aqua green, but there's a vibrant purple, fuchsia, and orange at the corner of that bottle at my angle. I think you can kind of see it starting to come up there. This is gorgeous. It's another one that I'm pretty sure I don't have. I've mentioned before, I only ever did one fairy event for PolishCon, and I didn't go in person. So most of the ones that came out in that event are not ones that I ever got a hold of. Actually, there you go. There's that purple and fuchsia. Beautiful. So this is going in the collection as well. That one is Broadway Baby from CBL. Next up, we have a Zoya. This one is called Lake. All right, so this one I know I have. I remember buying this from Zoya. It is a very light, like gray leaning green aqua. It is a very delicate, not even really pastel. I mean, it is a white leaning polish, very muted. Since I do already have it though, it's going to go in the D-stash. So that is Zoya's Lake. Next up, we've got another Emily Damali. This one is called X452, and we have another muted purple. So again, with one of my favorite shade ranges of purples. Now this is definitely more on the juicy side of those muted purples than the two previous ones. This has a lot less gray in it, but beautiful color. This is another one that I will most definitely have to do comparisons of, but it's another I know I don't have, so we're going to add that to the collection. That's Emily Damali's X452. Next up, we've got another Native War Paints. This one is February 2017 with a handwritten label. So I wonder if this was like a prototype for a polish pickup or an HHC. Hard to say, but it is a really pretty color, kind of a muted gray purple again with a very strong green flash. Since I don't exactly know if February 2017 is the official name or not, I can't be sure if I own it exactly, but we're going to go ahead and put that in the keep pile because this is a really gorgeous color. That is Native War Paints February 2017. Next up, we've got one from Azature. This one is called... So a lot of these have lost their little bottom label, but what I've been doing is looking at the little description on the back, and this one appears to be silver diamond maybe. And it's a silver, a metallic silver, kind of on the chrome side of things. And I think I'm going to be holding on to this one as well. I will have to look into making sure that I know exactly what the name is if I end up adding this to my nail polish app, but I want to hold on to this to compare to the other silvers that I have. There are some silvers that are a bit more chrome, some that are a bit silver leaning, like almost white leaning, some that have larger particles. So I want to see how this compares to those, and then we'll go from there as far as adding it to my collection or maybe destashing. The likelihood is once I do those comparisons, we're going to have a lot more going in the D-stash, but for the time being, that's going in the keep pile. That was Azuture's Silver Diamond. Next up, we've got another Cult Nails. This one is called Disciplined. Okay, this is another one that sounds familiar. Found it. Okay, so yes, I did recognize the name. I already have one bottle of this that's gone into the keep pile, so the second bottle is going to go in the D-stash. Next up, we have another Essie. This one is called Lapis of Luxury. Okay, that name definitely sounds familiar. I do think it's an interesting name to name a lavender polish, since lapis is a dark blue with gold, but in any case, it is a gorgeous color of lavender, and I think this is kind of a squishy cream formula. So we're going to put this in the to be checked pile because the name does sound familiar, and I don't know if that's just because I've heard other people talking about it or if I've ended up buying it. So Lapis of Luxury is going to go in the to be checked pile. Next up, we have another from Tux. I think we've only unboxed one other bottle from this brand, and this one is Bay Breeze. And this is kind of a watermelon pinky red. There's a load of shimmer in here. I'm seeing little tiny red speckles as well as some gold. Now this is in that same family of colors that I do really enjoy for summer. This is definitely more on the reddy side as opposed to the bright fuchsia. In fact, on camera, this is looking downright red. but in person it definitely has that pink lean, so like a juicy watermelon. This is going to go in the keep pile as well, at least until I can do some comparisons of this shade range. This is a fairly new to me brand. I know I've heard of it before this haul, but I don't think I actually own any. So it's one I know I don't have, and I'd like to see how this compares to other colors in this shade range. So that is Tuck's Bay Breeze. Next up, we have another from Glittering Elements. This one is called One of a Kind Sample 6. Ooh, look at the combination here. Wow. This has got to have a ton of different kinds of flakies in here. I'm seeing so many different variations on shifts. I'm seeing purples, pinks, blues, greens, golds, yellows, oranges. It's all in kind of a deep base, so I'm not sure if the base is a blackened base or if it has like maybe a black flaky in there that's adding a depthness and darkness to this, but it has lots of rainbows in it. Very pretty. It's a one of a kind, so I definitely don't have it. So this is going to go in the collection as well. That was Glittering Elements One of a Kind Sample 6. Next up, ooh, we've got another Girly Bits. This one is called A Twinkle in Time. This is another A Box Indeed exclusive. We've run into a handful of those. Now, this one does sound familiar. I'm trying to decide if this is one that we've run into before. I don't think so. I want to say a couple of the ones from Girly Bits that we've run into are in a similar concept, but this one actually has different glitter elements in it. So you do have a silver holographic base with silver holographic glitters, but this time you have these darker, small glitters in like a deep blue. I think there might even be a green, maybe a micro red glitter. So this is very interesting. The name does sound familiar, but I don't know if maybe it's just similar to another one we've run into or what the case might be. But again, we will be doing sorting here at the end of everything. That won't be for quite a few more videos though. But in any case, this is going to go in the keep pile for the time being. That was Girly Bits A Twinkle in Time. Next up, we have a pink from Emily DeMolly. This one is called Peer Pressure. Ooh, and it's a hollow. This is a really beautiful, like, light Barbie pink. So maybe not as neon-y or vibrant as a typical Barbie pink, but it is not quite a Pepto-Bismol either. But look at that hollow. This is, again, in that collection of tones of pink that I really like for summer. That is a beautiful one, and I know I don't have this from this brand, so you guessed it, it's going in the keep pile at least until I can do comparisons. So that is Emily DeMolly's Peer Pressure. Next up, we've got a serum number 5. This one is Indiglow, but it's X'd out, so it might be a mistake or an oops polish. Beautiful color though. This is kind of in that Tiffany box blue-green. I think it is a cream. Actually, maybe a bit of a squishy formula. I do really like this color, but for Tiffany Box Blue, I think I prefer it to be more saturated and creamy. So I think this is going to go in the D stash. That was serum number 5's Indiglow. Next up, we have another Cult Nails. This one is called Mezzo. And this is an unusual one. This is another brand that has made some very unique colors. This particular one is like a very light golden color. There's a lot of gold hues in it, but the base of this is more like a muted, almost tan gold. So I don't think this is going to surprise anybody when I say this is most likely going to go in the D stash. I just don't see myself reaching for something that is this tone of like a pale goldenrod. So we're going to go ahead and put this one in the D stash. That was Cult Nails Mezzo. Next up, we've got another CBL. Holy moly, this is a vibrant one. This one is called Bow Chicka Wow Wow. Okay, now that name does sound familiar. Trying to remember if I unboxed something this vibrant from them, and it's possible that I did, because the name definitely sounds familiar. The base of this is like a neon pinky orange with a very strong glow to it. Look at that. I mean, if that is not a summer color, I don't know what is. That is incredible. But like I said, I have a huge tote full of Colors by Laro at this point from this haul, and it would take way too long to dig through it to see if I already have this one. So this is going to go in the keep pile. Again, I'll do the sorting at the end of all of this to make sure I didn't end up with duplicates, but we're going to add that to the keep pile because this could be a very fun one for summer. That's Colors by Laro, Bow Chicka Wow Wow. Next up, ooh, I see a Vapid. This one is called their Stardust Hollow Top Coat. Nice. So this one, unlike some of the other hollows that I have, is specifically mixed with a top coat. So this is definitely going to go in the keep pile. I don't remember if Vapid is one of the brands that I do have a top coat from or not, but this should be a nice one to add, especially if you want to add a little bit of hollow on top of the polish. So that's going to go in the keep pile as well. That one might be our first Vapid of this video. That is Vapid's Stardust Hollow Top Coat. Next up, we have a Love Angeline. This one is called A Story of Love. It was a group custom number 3, I think. And this is another of their micro glitter mixes. You have purple, fuchsia, aqua. There might be something else in there that's adding a darkness to this, but this is a very pretty mix. I think this is another one that I don't own from them. Ooh, also in a clear base, so that should have some top abilities. Oh, look at that sparkle. This is going to go in the keep pile as well. Yeah, I could see this looking amazing over a bunch of different colors. So that was Love Angeline, A Story of Love. Next up, we've got a parrot polish. Ooh, I can see orange peeking through. This one is called Blaze. So we've actually run across a few different polishes named Blaze. Cult Nails has one, Zoya has one, and now Parrot Polish has one. And this is a vibrant, summery orange. This looks like a straight up orange. It's a very beautiful, juicy shade. Might actually be a little on the squishy side too. Look at that. Yeah, it's a little squishy. I think we're going to add this to the keep pile. Actually, I think it might have even originally been even brighter. Look at that. But yeah, I like it as is. We're going to go ahead and add this to the keep pile. Again, I'm going to have to do comparisons of all of my oranges, but compared to my deeper shades of oranges, the terracottas and pumpkins, I don't actually have that many in this brighter summer shade range of orange. So we'll have to see how that one compares, but that was Parrot Polish, A Faded Blaze. Next up, we have a Zoya in the Pixie Dust line, and this one is Vega. Ooh, so this one actually doesn't sound familiar. This is also one that has those larger holographic glitters, and this is in kind of a green aqua. That is very pretty. I don't think I have this one, but I will go ahead and put it in the to be checked pile just to be on the safe side. I know I do have a handful of these Pixie Dust polishes from them. So that one is Zoya Vega going in the to be checked pile. Up next, we have another Colors by Laro in their older label. This one is called OABTRAD. Obtrad? Obtrad? I'm not actually really sure. Let me know if you know what that's supposed to say. This is another of their amazing holographics, this time in a like rusty burgundy shade. It of course has the linear holographic flare that you're seeing, and there might even be another component, but it also needs a little bit of a shake. I think this is in need of a little bit of thinner to help smooth out the formula, but another one I don't think we've run into, so we're going to go ahead and put that in the to be kept pile. Again, I will have to sort just to make sure, but that's Colors by Laro, OABTRAD. Next up, we've got one from Lacquer Lust, and this one is called 5 O'Clock Shadow. This one is a light concrete gray polish with these black glitters in a number of sizes. They are in a matte finish. I think there might be a scattering of like a silver component, but I can't quite tell because I'm only seeing it every once in a while. It actually could be a part of one of the glitters. Yeah, see that little twinkle? I'm not seeing that too often though. This could be very cute on the nail. Kind of reminds me of an Oreo milkshake, although a bit on the grayer side than a milkshake is, but there it is on the brush. Yeah, I mean, this one, it could look cute, but I'm just not as excited about it. I don't know, it's just, I'm just not as drawn to it as others, so we're going to go ahead and put that in the D-stash. That's Lacquer Lust's 5 O'Clock Shadow. Next up, we've got a little bottle from Serum number 5. This one is called Happy Place, and this is another gray Crelly. We have red square glitters, yellow matte hex glitters, large black, I think, circle glitters. There's like an iridescent component in there. There's white matte glitters, plus there's a shimmer. Wow. So this one has a lot going on. I will say the color combination is not my favorite because this does combine two of my not favorite colors, red and yellow. So I think I will go ahead and destash this one. I will say if it is inspired by what I think it's inspired by, they've done a good job pulling from that inspiration because this does have those colors of Disney or Mickey, but that's going to go in the destash. That one is Serum Number 5's Happy Place. Next up, we've got one from Liquid Sky Lacquer. This is Summer Sunset, and this is another juicy shade of orange. This is actually a combination that is pretty popular. You have this juicy orange with a golden glass fleck particle or shimmer, and I feel like I've kept quite a few of these. Some of them did actually end up being a lot different on the brush to each other than I thought they might be. So I think I am going to add this to the keep pile, at least until I can compare it to those other colors. This one does have a nice, almost muted quality to it, so I am curious how it would compare to the ones I've already kept. And this is also another one that I don't think we've run into yet. So that is Liquid Sky Lacquer's Summer Sunset. Next up, we've got another Cult Nails, and this one is called Mayhem. Ooh, we've got another silver hollow. Oh my goodness. This has beautiful rainbows. This is actually a touch darker than some of the other silver hollows that we've run into. So again, it's going in the keep pile. I am still compiling some silver hollows for my silver hollow comparisons video, and I am curious how much darker this would actually look compared to those. And I don't think we've run into this before. So this is going to go in the keep pile as well. That was Cult Nails Mayhem. Next up, we have another from Liquid Sky Lacquer. This is Walk on the Wild Side, and it's a purple hollow. Oh my goodness. Ooh, so yeah, at this point, you've heard me say it a million times. I definitely need to compare my purple hollows, but they get me every time because I love purples, and the hollow adds a beautiful rainbow to them. And yeah, this is going in the keep pile as well. This one does have a light wash of a secondary shimmer. I think you can see that right there. So again, curious how this is going to compare, but we're going to hold on to it for the time being. That one's Liquid Sky Lacquer's Walk on the Wild Side. All right, one more, and that should take us to 60 bottles for this video. Who should we end it on? I think we're going to do this one. I think this might be an Emily DeMolly. No, it's a Colors by Leroux. So we're closing it out on a Colors by Leroux. This one is Home for the Holidays, and it was Polish of the Month for December 2017. Ooh, this one is beautiful. Now, this one does sound familiar as well, but again, I don't remember if I've kept this one before, if we've run into it. It's in a very, very light purple, almost purpley pink base. There's, of course, hollow, there's shimmer, and there's a larger particled hollow glitter. So this is going to go in the keep pile as well, again, at least until I can do those comparisons that I have stacking up, but that is Colors by Leroux, Home for the Holidays. Next up, we have another Colors by Leroux. This one is called Sweet Beginnings. This was another Polish of the Month for April 2016. And this one is another of their hollows. Look at that. This time in a beautiful fuchsia. Look at that tone. That is beautiful. So this is another one where the name does kind of sound familiar, but again, we're looking at a ton of polish here in a very short span of time, and I just don't remember if I've run into this one before. So this is going to go in the keep pile. Again, I will do sorting at the end of this just to make sure that I haven't kept any duplicate bottles, and then after that comes the very long process of swatching and comparing. So this is going to go in the keep pile for the time being. That's Sweet Beginnings by Colors by Leroux. Next up, we've got, here's an Emily DeMolly. This one is called Limited Edition 3. So we did unbox a limited edition in the other video, and that was limited edition number 4. And I was really excited about that because I have quite a lot of limited editions from this brand, but nothing in the single digits. So this one's going in the keep pile as well. I love that it is a very light silvered gray holographic, plus it's got a secondary shimmer. It's beautiful, and I know I don't have this one, so it's going in the keep pile. That's Emily DeMolly's Limited Edition 3. Next up, we've got an older Never Enough. I think this might be our first of this video, and this one is called Claudia. So this one is a really interesting, deep, blue-leaning teal. There is some linear holographic, and there is a shimmer component. I think you can sort of see that gleaming right there. It's another one that I know I don't have, so we're going to add that to the keep pile. That was Never Enough's Claudia. Next up, we have a Stardust polish. This is Sea Holly, and this is one of their micro glitters. Look at the color of this one. Wow. So this is absolutely gorgeous. This is in a bright summer turquoise. There's holographic and metallic, and I think there's a couple of different kinds of blue in here. You're seeing that green, plus there is a darker tone. It's another one that I don't think we have run across yet, so we're going to add that to the keep pile. That one is Stardust Polish Sea Holly. And there we have it. That is 60 polishes for part number 20. Let me know down below which ones were your favorites. We again ran into some very unique polishes from Rescue Beauty Lounge. I'm very excited to see what all else we're going to find from them in this box, and if we run into any more in the other totes. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me and looking at beautiful polish. I hope you guys have been having as much fun as I have looking at these older polishes. I know I have been just having a huge kick finding polishes from some of my favorite brands and new brands as well. If you're new, make sure to hit the little subscribe button down below. That way you don't miss out on any of my new videos. There is going to be a lot more videos to come in this series, so definitely stay tuned for those. So I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you in that next one.